Well, hi there. Welcome to Bella's Vistas. Still shut down with COVID. We can't really go anywhere. We can't drive to the States, go to Arizona or anything like that to get out of the cold. But I like to come out here, start up the van, run the engine, move it back and forth a little, keep it in shape. I also like to think about all the places we've been to in the past and where we're going to go to in the future. As soon as we get a chance, we're going to hit the road and go for another drive. It's really great to be able to look through our old videos and photographs. Here we are in 2016. We're just driving through a little village, Trinity, in Newfoundland. I really like this place. It's such a historic community. Lots of old style buildings here. A really nice place to visit. There's bed and breakfasts here, hotels, places you can stay, and there's lots to see. All the old fishing sheds are here, the wharfs, docks. There's plays go on here too. Also guided walks through the area. I've been here many times. There's the church off in the distance. I'm going to drive down this road here. Just going to drive around and try and find some locations where I might get some good photographs. Just taking in the history. This place has actually grown up quite a bit since I first started coming here many years ago. Just look at the style of the houses. Oh, there's the church off on the left being renovated. Flat top buildings and roofs, different style of roofs, flat roofs and arch roofs. Traditional Newfoundland style homes. Wow, driving along here, I'm really enjoying it. It's really taking me back too. It's a couple hours out of St. John's to get here. Now you wouldn't think that I'd get lost in a little community like this, but once in a while I need a little prompting whether to go right or left. You have to watch the speed here. It's 30 and that's 30 kilometers an hour. The roads are kind of rough and narrow and my van is big and clunky, but I really enjoy driving around anyway. Now there's the church. I photographed this church many times, but this visit it's under construction, so it won't be very good for photographs. I'll have to find other things to shoot, and that's not hard. Look at this building here, the community center. Oh, I gotta go left here. Almost made a mistake. Here we go. And look at the roof on this house here. Look at those windows and everything. Now I guess I'm gonna make a left at the stop here and see what we can find. This is headed back out towards the highway again. See what I mean? 30 kilometers an hour. Beautiful little community. Lots of really interesting things. I'm gonna go up this hill here. Now you probably don't want to even be going 30 kilometers an hour here. But we're going along, we're having a great time. Look at this community. Wow. This is the kind of thing I always picture this being a little set under a Christmas tree or something like that. Look at the lupins blowing in the foreground. This is really nice. I really like it here. I'm going to get a photograph here. Look at that. Now you can see that I'm more of a still photographer than a video guy. I really like to get HDR still photographs. Back on the road again, we got more rain, but we'll just endeavor to persevere and see what we can find here. This house on the right is kind of an old style building too. Wow, everywhere, and even the new construction is made to look new. I'm going to take a little break here in Flat Rock, Newfoundland. Bella and I are here just appreciating the waves, the smell of the ocean, the birds and everything. Bella's being very good here. We're going to take a little break here and look around, see what we can see. I've been coming back to this spot for, well, I guess like 45 years now. Coming back here and looking at it. Bella and I are enjoying a little cool off here with the icebergs. Wow. It's cold too. I came back here a couple times this year looking for icebergs and whatnot. This was as close as I got to an iceberg, really. Well, we went out on a boat looking for bergs and we got pretty close too, but at Flat Rock here, the ice was blowing right in onto the shore, and we had a great time. Here I am kayaking, sea kayaking in New Brunswick on the Bay of Fundy. Come on, Brian, paddle faster there. We got to get our shots. Come on, let's go. I had my camera put away in a sealed waterproof bag. It's a little hard to get out, but it's nice to keep the camera dry. Shooting with the 35 to 150 lens here, getting some long distance shots on things. Zooming in a little wee bit. You can see that's 35 to 100 Olympus lens f2. Look at this, wow. We've seen such fantastic sunrises, sunsets, beautiful things, the northern lights and the Yukon, Northwest Territories, just fabulous. Now, wow, here we're in California. We're headed up in the Inyo Mountains. We're going to go up 10,000 feet. Guys on the way there told me, you're going to think you're going to see pterodactyls flying by overhead. And this road is insane. It's 10,000 feet up in the air, very, very steep, very narrow, can't go very fast. I advise using a low gear going up here. Here we're going up the hill. At places it goes down to one lane and it's really scary. I tell you, afraid somebody might come around the other side going really, really fast. But we're having a great time going through here. This is what I came for, to see the bristlecone pine trees with the stars behind. This is my shot that I want to take, and I'm going to just try adjusting the polarizer and see if it will deepen the sky. Darken it. Oh, it does. Beautiful. Now we'll take a picture. Get the exposure just the way I want it. Starting to look really good. This is the trail we came back on last night. Wow. Look at these trees all around. It's kind of treacherous here, but imagine doing this at night with just flashlights to guide you by when it's really cold. There's talk of wind chills of 90 below zero here, and it was really cold. Bella was crying a little bit. We had to keep her between the two of us and keep rubbing her to keep her warm. And then we found a little place out of the wind, and it was a lot better. But in the daytime, there was another fella there, and Mary said if I could find somebody to hike with, she'd let me go in there by myself, but she was worried if I didn't have somebody with me, I might not come back. Look at these old giant trees. Wow. These are 6,500-year-old trees, and they're amazing. They grow very slow like bonsai trees because they're right up near the tree line. Now we're headed back down the mountain. Look at the view. See the road ahead of us, and it's so steep. It's a lot steeper than you could believe, but you notice on to the right of the screen where it's going to go out and around the corner, there's all these switchbacks and hairpin turns. You got to be so very careful. And this drive cost me a few dollars because I tell you, my brakes started overheating. When we got to the bottom of the mountain, my one brake was on fire and I had to find a place to get it fixed. Wow, here we're driving through the desert. We traveled through New Mexico and Arizona and parts of Texas. Saw the Alamo and a lot of these churches along the way. Now I'm driving along Highway 1. I'm stopping here to get some photographs at the side of the road. We're headed towards Big Sur. It's going to be fantastic. This is the fella I was talking about. Here he is fixing my brakes. We were fortunate enough to find this gentleman, and it's at Arnold's Garage. So you can see here where my brake rotor got destroyed. A big chunk of metal blew right out of it. It almost looked like a gunshot there. He fixed the brakes and away we were. Now we're driving along. We're headed towards Big Sur, and all these waves and everything along the ocean. It's just fantastic. I really enjoyed this. It's a Pacific Coast, and I really recommend this Pacific Coast drive. There were some places where the road was blocked and we couldn't get through, but anytime I got a chance to watch the sunset over the waves, I took advantage of that and I got as many shots as I possibly could. It was so much fun, just being that close to the ocean, the sunset. And I mean, I'm in California, it's just fantastic. I mean, wow. Look at this. Just watching the sun go down over all these rock formations. Just beautiful. I think I'd like to do this drive again because there was damage to the highway and there were places you couldn't get to, and I think you'd be able to get in there now. What a beautiful seashore. Look at the rocks and everything. I love this bridge every time I would come by and stop there. Yosemite Park, What a blast we had there. I'd love to go there again too. Bridalveil Falls. Wow, Death Valley. Here we are in Death Valley, the sand dunes, the old trees, walking on the dunes. There's a star trail. Look at this. Wow, just amazing. I could see what the guys were talking about, how you'd think you might see pterodactyls flying by, because it really is unusual. Wow, Arches Park. I had such a blast in Arches Park. Then we were off to Monument Valley, driving past the Mittens. The Mittens were really enjoyable. I just love it. There's a close-up on the one mitten. Driving past again. We found a place down here where we could camp overnight, and I managed to get some star trails over the Mittens. That's something I'd like to do again. I'd like to have a Navajo guide take me through there too. That would be really nice if I wasn't always on such a tight budget. But there's the Mittens. Look at there. Wow. I just loved it. This road is a lot rougher than you would think. Here I am taking some pictures in the desert. I'm adjusting my camera, adjusting my exposure, using a polarizer and long exposures. Getting things just the way I want to see them. Checking it out on the back of the camera. You can see my exposure there where we're blowing out the cloud. This is what I was looking for. Wow, we backlight on the cactuses. Desert palms. The saguaro cactus. Sunset over the saguaro cactus. Wow, 30 minutes of stars over there. Beautiful sunset along here. And here's the fairy duster. Well, thanks for visiting Bella's Vistas. Please like and subscribe. Come on back real soon.